Hello alpha testers, I'm going to be making a quick video tutorial on some of the more advanced combat mechanics in Swordai. This assumes you've already played through the in-game tutorial that's there now, but there's some advanced stuff that I haven't come up with the best way to make a tutorial in-game for yet. I'm working on it. For now, you get this video. So the first thing I want to show is your Ki ability, which by default is bound to R. And if you start charging an attack, normally it charges up, fairly slowly. You can hit Ki and charge it immediately. So it looks like this. And your guy shouts that your opponent can hear it, and that will do full damage. So it's a good way to kind of mix things up and be a little bit sneaky. It's got a 10-second cooldown, and it uses stamina. Next, we're going to talk about feinting. So I can hit Q while I'm charging an attack, and I'll return to my idle position. And you could use this with your Ki. So for example, I could feint this way to induce my opponent to block that way, feint and switch directions in Ki. And especially if I move my body with my feint, it will feel to my opponent like I'm swinging. So something like that would be feint upright, switch down left, Ki, swing. Again, one more time slowly. The Ki has a 10-second cooldown and uses stamina. So that little move is charge upright, feint, switch to down left, Ki, swing. And the shout is there so that you know when your opponents use their Ki and you know it's on cooldown so you can play more aggressively. All right, next I'm going to talk about blocking out of an attack. So if I'm charging an attack, I don't actually have to feint. I can just switch to blocking. Just keep your left mouse button down, hold right mouse button, and move in a direction, and you'll switch to a block, and then you can let go of left mouse button. So you can immediately switch from an attack to a block. Next, we're going to talk about comboing. So if you watch carefully, right when I hit my opponent, my cursor is going to change to a plus. Oh, I miss. Sorry. So it might be a little hard to see on the video, but the cursor changes to a plus for about a quarter second. During that time, I can immediately input another attack, and it'll start 30% charged. If I swing, and right when I hit him, I start charging an attack, I can charge. Oops, that time. I can charge my next attack much quicker and do more damage that way. You can also block off of that combo. So I can swing. When I see the plus, I can start blocking immediately. And that can be useful if two players are running at each other, both ready to swing. Whoever hits first can immediately block and potentially hit their opponent and block their opponent's next attack. All right, next I'm going to show kicking, which is a way to get through your opponent's block. So I set up a guy there who's just blocking to see what the kick looks like. It's like that. And you have to be fairly close, but if I hit E when I'm close, while he's blocking, it's going to stagger him, which means that he cannot attack or block. He moves very slowly and he takes extra damage. If I kick him when he's not blocking, it does nothing. It just gives him a little nudge. So when your opponent is blocking, if you get close and hit them with a kick, they'll be staggered and they'll take extra damage. And you can also, you'll notice the plus appears off the kick as well, so you can combo off a kick. Okay, for the last part of the video, I'm going to hop into the challenge of lava here and illustrate some of the charging mechanics in the special mode where you're unable to normally charge attacks. So you can see if I try and charge an attack, my charge meter just doesn't fill up. But you are able to charge attacks in other ways, which would be either using your Ki, comboing, which I missed the opportunity to do there, or riposting, which is the one key mechanic we haven't talked about yet. So anytime I block an attack, within 2 seconds of the block, any attack I start will automatically be fully charged, and that'll be true even if I feinted in between. So if I block and then attack, my attack's fully charged, and then I can combo off that and finish off that orb. Again, block, I could run over here within 2 seconds. Nope, wasn't fast enough. I can take that with my Ki. So a pretty common mechanic you'll want to get comfortable with is going to be block, feint, riposte. And this red side of the kata orb means that you need to feint. So I'm going to block down, feint upright, swing up. Block, feint, swing. You have time if you're quick to feint twice. Block, feint, feint, swing. And that gets that pretty much across. The other important thing to know about riposting is that once you've started a swing that is a riposte, any incoming damage is halved. So if you block and then swing a riposte, if someone hits you mid-swing, the damage is halved. So riposting is extremely powerful. All right, then the last thing to show is your dodge, which is bound to control by default. So if you hit control, you'll kind of dash backwards. There's no iframes or anything, so you can still be hit during the dodge, but it is a way to increase your mobility, has a 10-second cooldown, and uses stamina. So boom, dodge. All right, I think that covers everything you know to fight at the highest level possible in the game right now. Thanks for watching, and I hope to see you guys out there.